And you don't actually have to implement this capital improvement plan,
Yeah,
you just have to have it.
Budget for it.
And you can change it supposedly every year, so like we could say, well, and it has to be 3 years out.
I was gonna say
At least
5
3 years
years
out.
Okay.
They recommended 5, but it needs to be at least 3 years.
So trust me, Laura and I are gonna have a heck of a capital improvement plan to bring to you in September.
we need some property north.
How do I write that down in these notes?
That, your trustee will be presenting to you a capital
Trustee and legal
improvement
council will
plan
be putting
Okay,
together.
okay.
in September.
Okay,
So those two completely
I
tied
think
together.
we probably need about it, I can think of about $3 million of capital improvements that we need right now.
Yeah,
Feel
Yeah.
free to email me anything.
You've already listed most of them,
yeah,
with what ground cost out here. We need some more ground, we need a tanker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta start.
you said that we can do that at the September meeting, you said?
Yeah, they'll have
Yeah,
the plan that we'll
because-
approve.
They said that starting July 1st of 2025, you have to do it, and it has to be board approved by September 30th.
Of this year.
And then someone threw out there that there's an old law on the books that if you did a capital improvement plan, it had to be presented to the county council on their first meeting in August. And it's like, what? How is that even?
Yeah,
It won't even be due for 2 months, so I don't know how they think everyone's gonna write one in 1 month and.
Present it to the next office.
See, now, I thought that would make sense if you presented it, but,
Well,
so
we
I
always-
just wanna make you guys aware of those, cause those are a new thing.
Yeah, we need to not have any money, cause
Yeah, exactly.
Jensen.
We've been working too hard.
Mr. Jensen will suck that up in no time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just know he will.
Yeah. So,
Alright, so the next on the new business is the 2027 general levy.
so, I have emailed the DLGF, but they didn't call me back or email me back yet, so I'm gonna reach out to them again. So we know they're going to cut/reduce our lit, our local income tax, the portion that we get, starting January of 2027. Our township general fund is completely funded by lit,
which one is?
township general.
General fund. The one who's this year we budgeted for $272,000 and some change.
So we have no idea how that'll be reduced. So what they were saying is if you don't have, we're actually in, I feel like in a good position because we don't have a township levy. So we can have them approve a levy, there's a lot of paperwork that goes along with it, approve a levy. And then as it gets closer to budget time next year, hopefully we'll have a better understanding of how lit is. So when they approve a levy, just like our fire levy, they said you can tax this much, and we said we don't wanna tax that much, we only wanna tax this much. But they approved it. We can do the same thing, my understanding is with Township General, they can approve a levy, and then when we figure out what this impact will be on our lit, we can say, okay, well, we only need this much to make budget. But if they decided to slash it and we don't at least do the paperwork to figure out a levy, we would just be without money. Some townships, if they already have a levy, they're only allowed to raise it, they're restricted on how much they can raise it. So there were people asking, so can I just ditch my levy? Can I ask for my levy to be wiped off the books for next year and then apply to be re-levied in case they get no money? Because they're only allowed to go up in little increments. So we're actually in a good place. I'm hoping that next 3 sessions.
Where's that money being redirected to?
I'm sorry.
Where's the lit money being redirected to when it's not coming to the township? Is it going to the county level or the state?
My understanding is it's staying at the local level, county, because,
Are the cities also taking a hit?
yes.
I don't, and that's why I really don't understand if they're
So this
keeping
is
all that money,
benefiting the
why
county.
we have to open this road and infrastructure. They're already gonna have.
They're losing state funds. It's kind of a trickle down.
It's rolling
effect.
downhill.
Yeah, it's rolling downhill because they're not getting money from the state. And so cities and towns are not, and townships are not getting the same amount of monies from the counties. It's all
It's
rolling
amazing.
down.
We used to have a balanced budget like 2 years ago, and now Indiana is supposedly out of money.
So this is all preview for now, but, you may have some hard decisions because I know you haven't wanted to have any increases. But if you're in a position where you're going to lose a substantial portion of your general township,
That's gonna be, what's that, 20% roughly? If we lost the whole thing over our overall budget?
yeah,
It's 270,000 on what, we're just over $1 million?
where does that come from?
It's 25%.
Unless you try and get some of that back through a levy.
And the levy is on property tax, right?
Yeah.
So,
it's
yeah,
property.
so it raised the property tax, right? That's what I thought, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so that's why I said you're in a hard spot. Either you're doing without
Mhm.
or.
Well, I'd rather have it and not use it than need it and not be able to
That's
use
what I
it.
was thinking too.
Cause we're gonna do everything we can to not use it.
Yes.
I'm pretty confident by the people that's voting on it in this room, I'm okay with that. But,
And I will, like I said, I've already reached out to them to try to start that process.
there's
'cause I
no
don't want it to
downside to
be-
getting it.
No, which is what we've been talking
Discussed,
about, is put you in the best position where you have at least that
We have an option.
If you don't exercise the option, you don't exercise the option, and
That's up to us.
that's for you to decide.
I'm fine with that. We've been a lot different discussion, we talked about using it, I'm okay with it in place. So,
That's all I got.
Any comments from members of the audience? All right. Anything else?
I'm just trying to figure out how to write this in
About the levy or?
yeah,
I would just say that the trustee is, investigating the steps for a 2027 general levy in the event it is needed.
in the event of what?
It
That
is
it is needed.
needed or necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's enough for the minutes, because that's really the essence of it.
All right,
Okay.
if there is nothing else, we can adjourn here at 7:13.